Okay, class. So we have here again no, the Finman Star Hotel and Restaurant Corporation. Okay, statement of management responsibility for financial statement. Okay, so we have here the first uh, document that you have to present, okay, is the responsibility or management responsibility statement, okay, for the financial statement. And in this statement of management responsibility, the appointment of an independent auditor, okay, by the board of director. Okay? So Juan de la Cruz in this instance is the independent external auditor that will provide an audit report no, regarding the materiality, reliability of the financial statement presented. So signed by the CEO, President, Treasurer, Secretary. Okay? Aside from this, you also have statement of management responsibility for income tax return. Okay? So this is for the BIR for purposes of submitting your audited FS in the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Okay? And in this management responsibility, okay, Finman Star Hotel and Restaurant Corporation uh, complete and correct in all material management likewise affirms that the ITR income tax return has been prepared in accordance with the provision of the NIRC, okay, as amended by pertinent regulations such as amendment of uh, tax laws by Train Law as well as Create Law. Okay? So nandito din management responsibility as to the filing of all applicable returns. So nandyan po ang sabi na natin nandyan ang 2550, okay? M, which is for monthly VAT if you're VAT taxpayer. Q, quarterly VAT. Okay? Aside from that, you have 17, okay, 02, okay? Q, quarterly tax return for corporation. And then 1702, okay? That's for annual. And other forms such as 1601C, okay? Kung meron ka mga employees at may sweldo sila, payroll, and withholding tax, no? You have here 0619E. So malalaman nyo to class sa taxation ninyo, no? Lalo na pag magpa-practice na kayo. This is withholding. Okay? So itong mga to, ina-file naman lahat. Ayan. Even e-sales, etc. Okay, so the management will provide this statement to present that they are responsible for the preparation of the FS and preparation of the annual income tax return. Okay, so kumbaga inaako nila yung responsibility sa preparation na yun. At si external auditor naman, hindi niya inaako yung responsibility sa pag-prepare ng FS. Let me state that hindi external auditor ang gagawa ng FS. Okay? Ang external auditor ay mag-i-interpret lang at i-assess lang niya yung reliability ng financial statement na ginawa ng management, particularly ng department ng controller, okay, or the supervised by the CFO. So ganun class, no? So ngayon, we have here first component of the financial statement, the statement of comprehensive income. Okay? Dito sa statement of comprehensive income class or also known as income statement, no, nung time namin, income statement ito, okay? Nabago na po ang pangalan niya, statement of comprehensive income. Then this statement class provides for the total gross revenue or gross sales or gross receipts. Okay? So yung ibang terms dito, sales. Yan. Less cost of revenue or cost of goods sold or cost of sales. Okay? Is equivalent to gross income or gross profit. So, pwedeng ganyan, gross profit. So, you have here an example, comparative FS for 2020 and 2019. Okay? So, you have here 17 million for 2020 and then 13 million cost of sales. So, 4.155 million for gross profit. In 2020, 4.977 million naman for 2019. Then you have here the increase or decrease in revenue or income. Less operating expenses, general admin expenses. So general admin expense, na-discuss na natin ito. Okay, diyan papasok yung mga rental, okay, salaries ng mga empleyado, okay? At pinakita natin doon sa tax return class yung mga iba't ibang components na yan, no? And then finance cost, this is with respect to the interest. Okay, kung nag-loan ka sa bangko, okay, magkano ang binabayaran mong interest? Kung nag-issue ka ng bonds, magkano naman yung interest? Then you have here earnings before income tax. Okay? In your FS analysis class, pag sinabi sa problem EBIT, no? EBIT, earnings before income tax or earnings before interest and tax. Ano po ang dapat na proper term? Class, ganito ha. Kapag silent class sa problem, and we will reiterate this when we reach FS analysis, no? Computation. Ang EBIT class for FS analysis and basic computation ay earnings before interest and tax. Okay? Interest and tax. This should be interest. Okay? So, kapag silent class yung problem, EBIT stands for earnings before interest and tax. And this will now be your earnings before tax, which will be applied, no? Or will be the basis in computing for the amount of tax. Okay, so ganyan. Then meron ka ng net income after tax. Sir, ba't mo diniscuss ito? Kasi baka ma-confuse kayo. Sir, earnings before income tax, ang acronym din naman niya is EBIT. Diba? Ayan ha. So mag-ingat kayo dyan class ha. Pagka-silent, ang EBIT ay earnings before interest and tax. Pero kapag naka-specify, wala tayong problema dyan. Specify pala siya eh. Diba? Then minus provision for income tax at yan po. No? Itong earnings before tax mo na to, okay, i-multiply mo dyan plus yung tax rate. Okay, at i-discuss na natin plus yung tax rate. Okay, sa first part natin. Para ma-compute mo itong tax na ito. To get the net income after tax. So, ganyan ha. At itong net income after tax na ito class ay papasok na sa retained earnings. Okay? Papasok na sa retained earnings. At itong retained earnings na ito, i-assess mo na as financial manager. Di ba? Planning, directing, organizing, controlling, monitoring, financial resources in order to achieve its objectives. Yung RE ba ay sapat na? Okay? Para tayo ay mag-declare ng dividend in the form of ano? Pwedeng cash dividend, okay? Pwedeng property dividend, pwedeng stock dividend, okay? And pwedeng bonus issue, kung ano mga ano dyan. Okay? So you have here property dividend, etc. Okay? Or baka naman yung retained earnings ay kailangan mo pang i-appropriate, di ba? So, appropriate, kaya mababasa niyo yung mga terms na appropriated retained earnings. Bawal mong i-distribute. Ibig sabihin ng appropriated retained earnings, naka-safe, naka-safety siya, naka-set aside siya, yan, for probably other investment or expansion projects. Okay? So, pwedeng expansion projects or pwedeng investment. So, ganyan class, no? Pero, again, this is an example of statement of comprehensive income which will only present, no, the so-called nominal accounts. The nominal accounts and the computation of the net income after tax. So sinama na rin ang tax, okay, doon sa ating syllabus para as early as now, kung wala pa kayong taxation, meron na kayong idea, no, kung paano ba yung tinatawag nating separate taxation, paano ba yung computation ng tax for corporation, partnership, as well as sole prop. So now, naka-focus tayo sa corporation. Then we have here, again, no, the statement of financial position, which is traditionally known as the BS. Okay? Ano po yung BS? Balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet ha. Okay? And these balance sheet accounts are also known as, okay, itong mga balance sheet account, nalaman nyo to sa financial accounting ninyo, these are also known as real accounts. Okay? Real accounts. Yan. Ayan ha. Kapag ka-income statement account, ito naman yung tinatawag nating nominal account. Alam niyo na yan, class. Okay, this is a sort of review. Okay? Or also known as temporary accounts. Ayan, temporary. Okay? Ang real account, permanent account. Ano ba yan? Bakit po ba nominal or temporary? Kasi, yung income statement account na yan, kino-close natin. Diba? Kino-close ninyo eh. Kino-close nyo yung expense. Ang normal balance niya, debit, kine-credit natin. Okay? Yung sales, balikan niya natin to. Okay? Yung sales, ang normal balance niya, credit. Anong ginagawa natin? Dinidebit natin. Okay? Bakit mo sir dinidebit? Para ma-close. Kasi bakit mo kino-close? Kasi temporary yung account. Alam niyo na yan, class, di ba? Sa financial accounting. So, ibig sabihin, itong revenue na to, ang initial entry ko dito, okay? Your initial entry is debit AR, accounts receivable, okay? And credit sales revenue. Sales revenue. Yan. Okay? Tapos, yung entry ko sa cost of sales, debit CGS, cost of sales. Okay? And credit inventory kapag nagbenta. Ayan. Okay? Tapos, kapag may expense pa ako, ang entry ko, debit expenses. Okay? Expenses such as salaries, okay? Utilities expense and other kinds of expenses, credit cash. So lahat ito class, itong mga to, no? Same with income tax expense class, no? Ito sales na nakikita nyo dito sa income statement natin, ito po ay nominal account. Ito po ay nominal account. Ito po ay nominal account. Di ba? So, yan. So, you have here, kung meron ka namang tax, babayaran mo na. Siyempre, hindi mo pa babayaran. Magre-report ka pa lang. April 15 pa lang po ang payment. So, you have your income tax expense. Income tax. Okay. And then you have your income tax payable. Okay? So, yan. So, ito pong mga to ay nominal accounts. Okay? Ito. Ngayon, ang mangyayari dyan, i-close mo. Di ba? I-close mo siya. Okay? At kapag close natin, yung mga dating normal credit balance, i-debit natin. At alam nyo na yan, class, di ba? So, sir, i-debit ko na ngayon si sales. Okay? I-debit ko ngayon si sales revenue. Yes. I-debit ko ngayon si, rather, i-credit ko ngayon si cost of goods sold. Okay? What else? I-credit ko ngayon si expense. Kung may income tax pa, ayan, income tax. Ayan, expense. So, anong gusto nating i-point out ngayon dito? Again, ito po ay nominal account kasi, okay, dahil sa pag-entry mo dito na ganito, no? Say for example, lagyan niya natin amount. Say for example, 10,000. Ang cost of goods sold mo is 5,000. Ang expense mo is 3,000. Okay? Then you have 10,000 minus 5,000 minus 3,000. That's 2,000 times 0.25. Ang income tax mo is 500. So meron kang, okay, income summary account. Ito. Okay? Income summary account. No? Income summary account. Amounting to the balance, which is equivalent to 1,500. Okay? 1,500. Yan. Okay, so ilipat na natin ito dito. Okay? Sir, anong gusto mong i-point out ngayon? Yari. Adjust nga natin to class. O basta itong income summary account, 1.5, no? Itong 1.5 na ito, okay? Ayan. So dito, na-close na yung dating credit ko, yung dating dinebit, close, close, close. Ayan. So ito na lang na income summary account class ay papasok sa real account. Okay, so balik tayo dito class ha. Ang balance sheet ay real accounts. Okay. Sa balance sheet, nakikita natin itong retained earnings. Di ba? Retained earnings. Diyan mo ini-imbak lahat ng mga result ng operation mo, whether it is profit, diyan mo binabawas naman kapag loss. So, ibig sabihin, okay, kung babalik tayo dito, ang mangyayari ngayon dito sa income summary account ay i-close mo siya sa balance sheet, diba? Account, which is magde-debit ka na ng income summary, okay, amounting to 1.5 at ipapasok mo siya sa permanent account na retained earnings amounting to 1.5. Kaya meron ka din class doon sa statement of changes in the equity, makikita mo rin itong galaw na ito. Okay? So, yan na po, naging permanent account na siya. Okay? So, ito may closing entries kasi tayo dito para pumasok na siya sa real or permanent account. So, ito class ha, this is a sort of review of what you have discussed in your financial accounting. Okay? So, sa FinMan, ang i-discuss natin dito kung paano siya pre-represent at ano yung components niya. Then we will focus on the decision-making activity depending on the ratios. Okay, yung mga ratios na mako-compute, ma-analyze natin, maganda ba ang FS natin, okay ba na mag-maintain ng ganitong level ng cash balance, ganitong level ng inventory, etc. So again, dito natin sa balance sheet makikita ang different components ng mga current assets at non-current assets. Yan. So dapat ang basic accounting equation natin na asset is equal to liability plus equity ay balanse. Okay? Ulitin ko, ang capital for FinMan or MS, MAS subject ang capital ay asset Okay, kaya meron tayong tinatawag na cost of capital which will be discussed in your financial market and valuation technique na subject. Sa financial accounting naman, ang equity or capital ay considered as equity. Kaya ingat-ingat tayo dito. Okay? So dito naman sa financial accounting. Okay, so ngayon. Regardless, okay, asset na lang ang gamitin natin at equity para hindi tayo malito. Okay? So you have here total current asset of 47,368,590 plus total non-current asset of 70,992,393. Ang total asset po ay 118 million. So pag inad mo naman itong liabilities at equity, dapat ang total din ay 118,360,983.99. Bakit sir dapat naging equal yan? Kasi sa basic accounting class, natutunan natin yung double entry bookkeeping. Diba? So, ayan. At sa liabilities, may current portion, accounts payable or trades payable, and meron tayong non-current portion, may loans payable. Ito po yun. Tapos kung currently na magmamature yung loan mo within the year, you have learned this in your financial accounting 2 or intermediate accounting course, na may portion na current, kapag within 1 year na siya collectible, ipasok mo siya sa current liability. Kapag more than 1 year, then it will be long-term or non-current. Ganyan ha. And then share capital, ito na po yung common stock, okay? APIC, ayan. O kaya naman preferred stock po, may preferred stock, and then APIC or share premium. So ito yun, ito siya. Okay? So, share capital, kaya mayroon siyang APIC. Dito kasi sa problem na ito, walang APIC no, sa FS na to. And then preferred stock, and then retained earnings. So, yan ang component ng shareholders equity natin. So, yan lang po ba ang mga accounts for shareholders equity? Class, you will learn no, in your advanced accounting. No? particularly in stock acquisition wherein there is a parent-subsidiary relationship. Kapag parent company, example po ng parent company si Jollibee, no? Parent company siya. Ang kanyang subsidiaries class ay si Chowking, di ba? Ng Inasal, okay, etc. Kapag may FS si Chowking, may FS si Mang Inasal, okay, may prepared na FS naman si Red Ribbon, i-consolidate plus ni Jollibee. Okay? At since siyang parent company, kung partially owned yung mga ibang company, meron pong tinatawag class na non-controlling interest in the net asset of the subsidiary. Ibig sabihin class, meron pang dagdag dito. Ibibigyan ko lang kayo ng overview. Baka meron kayong ma-encounter class na FS na meron silang account name na NCNAS. Okay? So, sa advanced accounting na yan. Padaanan lang natin yan para alam nyo na. What is NCNAS? In addition sa share capital and RT, okay, and APIC, okay? Non-controlling interest in the net asset of the subsidiary. Prepared by the FS, okay? Consolidated FS prepared by the parent company. Yan po, ito po ang balance sheet natin. Okay? Siyempre, yung receivable natin, kung meron siyang allowance for budget, pwede mo i-present doon open parenthesis, PPE. And then for PPE, kagaya nito class, naka-net na. Okay, net. Naka-net na to. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Net of amortization for computer system, lalo na mga intangible assets natin. Okay, amortization po ang tawag doon. Expense, accumulated amortization. Kapag ka naman PPE, depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation. So yung naka-net na dyan class sa PPE is your ACDEP. Okay? Sir, pwede pong hindi i-present dito? Yes, pwede. Pero dapat i-present mo siya sa notes to financial statement. Okay? So ngayon, bago tayo pupunta sa next na FS, okay, ipapakita ko lang po yung mga notes dito sa balance sheet hanggang sa shareholders equity. Okay, itong mga to. Okay? So, ang pangpakapal talaga class sa FS ay yung notes. Doon mo makikita yung kwento. Doon mo makikita yung explanation. Okay, kasi dito puro numero lang po yun dito. Okay, so skip tayo dito. Balikan natin yan. Okay, ito po, no? Notes to financial statement. So you have here the general information, kung ano tungkol kay Finman Star Hotel. Okay, ano yung registration niya sa SEC. Okay, ilang stockholders, magkano ang kanilang capital, okay, ano yung reporting period, okay? And then kailan okay, inauthorize ng board yung release and preparation ng FS. Okay? So, management significant accounting judgment and estimates. Again, hindi naman po accuracy, no? Pinaka-imperfect reporting. No? Marami tayong estimate dyan. Kaya ng depreciation expense, hindi naman eksakto talaga yung depreciation doon. Kaya may mga decline method, may sum of the years digit method, double declining method. So itong mga to, estimate. Di ba? Kaya hindi mo masasabing accuracy. Okay? So may judgment, impairment loss, ayan. So, basahin nyo na lang to class, no? Ngayon, dito din sa PPE, ito yung sinasabi kong useful life, even the number of years mo gagamitin yung PPE mo, okay, yung equipment mo, yung building, yung vehicle, okay, delivery van, etc. Naka-estimate lang kung ilang taon, di ba? So, based on your judgment. So, again, kapag nag-audit kayo, kung auditor kayo, hindi nyo tinitignan yung veracity, accuracy, no? Kundi reliability lang. Okay? So, revenue recognition, ano yung mga accounting methods or standards na in-apply. Okay? So, you have PAS 1, PAS 8, okay? PAS 10, PAS 36, 7, 18, 32, 39. So, these are the standards applied, no, in preparation of FS. Okay? So, we have here, basahin nyo na lang to class, no? Itong mga description, okay? Kung ano yung mga PAS, mga standard yan. Philippine Accounting Standards na yan, okay? So you have here, for presentation of FS, you have PAS 1. Yan. Which provides the framework for financial statement presentation, balance sheet line items, etc. Past 7 for cash flow statement. So I will leave this to your financial accounting professor. Okay, teacher. So skip tayo dito. Okay, nandyan po, makikita nyo, kwento ng financial liabilities, impairment of asset, okay, income taxes, okay, financing cost, yan. So liquidity risk and other kinds of risk. Ito na po, no? So yung breakdown ng cash presented doon sa FS, okay? Balikan natin yung balance sheet ha. Mabilis lang. If you have a copy no nung etong handout natin na to, pwede nyo tingnan na lang no. Ito, 44 million, 2 million, 353, 111. Total na, no? Nandito yung notes niya. Okay? Total na 'yan. So gagawin mo, kung gusto mong makita kung saan ba galing ito, ano bang breakdown niya, punta ka sa notes. So dito na yung notes. So, ganito lang class, no? Kaya dito sa ating topic na financial statement components, okay? So ito po ang makikita natin. So yan, yung 44 million, ito siya. Okay? Coming from the components are cash in bank, petty cash fund, cash and check deposits. Yan. Trade and other receivables, okay? So you have trade receivable, yung accounts receivable mo, cash advance, yung mga pinautang probably cash advance yung mga empleyado, kaya kung meron kang pinautang, like advance sa'yo, yung manager, officer, etc. Inventories, no? So, since hotel siya, meron siyang merchandise inventory, supplies, materials for the use of restaurant, and hotel. Okay, so yan. Computer system, breakdown niya. So, ganyan po ang notes to financial statement. Diba? May mga breakdown. Tapos sa PPE, ayan, nandito na yung land and the improvements, building, okay? Building facilities, transportation vehicle, furniture and fixtures. So ito yung components naman ng PPE na nakapresent doon sa FS. Ayan. Tapos hindi ba ang nakapresent doon na 70 million ay net? Yan po yung net book value or carrying value niya. At ang dinededuct natin ay ito pong accumulated depreciation or AD. Hindi ba ang entry natin, class, kapag tayo po ay nagko-compute ng depreciation expense, you have here debit DebtX, depreciation expense, and then you credit accumulated depreciation or ACDEP. Di ba? So, dahil dito, class, sa na-accumulate mong depreciation, yung cost, no? Ito yung cost eh. Okay? Yung cost of purchasing the said PPE or constructing the building, etc., deduct mo yung accumulated depreciation or AD, okay? And then magkakaroon ka na ng tinatawag natin na carrying value or book value. Okay? Kaya yung ginagamit nila is net, PPE net. Ayan. Okay? So dito sa notes, makikita nyo, ito palang PPE na 70 million, ang total cost pala niya 74 sa 2020, pero meron siyang depreciation, okay, accumulated during the year and from previous years, okay, na 3,969,234.57, kaya ang net niya is 70,992.17. And then same with trade payable. Nandiyan ang accounts payable, salaries payable, VAT payable, income tax payable. Diba? So, lalagay mo dyan. And then yung revenue. Ito naman, class, ang kwento, ang notes nitong, okay, balikan ko to ha, income statement. At nandito po yung income statement natin. Kaya if you have your handout with you, mas magandang maging reference ninyo para hindi natin i-move up na, no? 13 million. Take note of that. Okay? So itong mga to, saan galing yan? O yan yung mga quarterly, no? Na ni-report mo sa BIR, okay? 1702Q, okay? At ito po siya. And 2550Q at saka 2550M. So gross sales mo, ito po yun, 17 million. Ayan. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Ayan. Vatable sales ba? Exempt sales ba? Okay? At kung vatable, 12% of this. Okay? You will learn this in your taxation. 12% of vatable sales ay output VAT. Okay? Tapos, syempre, dapat meron kang purchases, may input VAT ka rin. Sir, kung may output VAT, may input VAT? Yes. And this is also 12% of your vatable purchase. Okay? Siyempre, may mga purchase ka kasing non-VAT, di ba? Kaya kung non-vatable, wala siyang pang-deduct. Kaya nagre-remit tayo ng sobra. Okay, excess. Yan yung VAT due natin monthly and quarterly. Kasi yung sales mo na vatable at purchase mo na vatable, hindi yan magtutugma. Kasi kung equal lang din, imagine class bumili ka vatable 100,000. Binenta mo din 100,000. Yun, wala akong VAT na babayaran. Pero kumita ka ba? Wala kang kinita. Okay? Ganon yung concept niyan. So that is a, what you call this, indirect tax na pwedeng i-transfer sa mga consumers. Kaya tayo, class, kung bumibili tayo ng mga goods sa grocery store, sa department store, etc., isipin nyo na lang na nagbabayad na rin kayo ng tax in the form of VAT. Diba? Pinapasa lang sa atin. Kasi yung pinurchase nila, pinasa din sa kanila yung 12% na VAT na yan. So, kung ang pang-purchase nila is 100,000, ibebenta rin sa atin na 100,000, true enough, wala silang babayarang VAT, pero wala din silang kinita. Okay, wala rin sila. Loss na sila kasi may mga expenses, depreciation, alam nyo na yan, salaries, negative na yung magiging result ng operations nila. Kaya, magkakaroon ng markup. At yung markup na yan, okay, yan yung sales mo. Okay? At yung binili mong 100,000 na vatable purchase, binenta mo ng 150, yung 50 na vatable, yun naman yung 12% doon, i-remit mo sa BIR as your VAT. You will learn this in your taxation. Okay? So dito, ano lang muna tayo overview. Okay? Kaya gusto ko Finman ang tinuturo class Yan. Kasi ito applicable talaga class sa kung may business ka, kung may client ka na may business, kung parents mo may business, okay? May guide nyo sila, no? At saka magagamit nyo. Yan, breakdown ito ng sales mo. Hotel, galing sa hotel na benta, receipts, yung restaurant, at saka pwede kasing government sales. Sir, anong ibig sabihin ng government sales? Hotel, example, ang nag-rent nung function hall is local government unit. O kaya naman DOH, di ba? Kasi nag-seminar sila tungkol sa IATF. COVID response, ganyan. Siyempre, babayaran nila yon. Okay? At yan ay considered as government sales. Okay. So now we have here cost of sales. Okay? Ito na po, yung beginning inventory plus purchases minus ending inventory, you have cost of goods sold. Okay? And then, syempre, kung ikaw ay manufacturing entity, your depreciation expense at saka overhead cost, part siya ng manufacturing cost mo. Okay? So, additional yan sa cost of goods sold natin. Pero kung ikaw ay, yung depreciation mo, hindi naman yan particularly sa manufacturing kasi hindi ka manufacturing, merchandising, then yung depreciation mo will part of your period cost or yung tinatawag nating general admin expense. Hindi siya part ng product cost or the cost of goods sold. Same with purchase. Ayan. Ito yung purchases natin. Ito po, may vatable, then 12% input VAT. Okay? Tapos, nagwi-withhold po ang sales sa government ng 5%. So, itong mga to, ginagamit na tax credit. Okay? So, sa tax nyo na malalaman yan. Pag sinabing tax credit, pangontra sa tax due. So, kung sinisingil ka ng 50,000, o kaya naman, kunyari, sinisingil itong Finman Star Hotel ng 700,000, meron siyang pangontra na 599,000. So, magiging 100 something thousand na lang ang tax due niya. Kasi meron na siyang binayad sa gobyerno in advance. So, kumbaga, bago siya bayaran ng government dun sa pagpapaupa niya sa function hall, kung 100,000 man yan, ininet na niya yung 5% as remittance na agad as payment. So, ang babayaran na lang ng government sa'yo, 95,000 na lang. Yung 5% na 5,000, napunta na sa BIR. So, ikaw naman, kung magre-report ka na, gagamitin mo naman na siya as 100,000 ang nireport ko, pero pang-deduct ko na yung 5,000. Kaya, 95,000 na lang ang magiging basis ko for tax purposes. Yan. So, ganyan. And then, ito po ang component ng mga general admin costs. Actually, ito class, nakita nyo na sa annual income tax return. Okay, pre-send ko na rin yan dun sa first part natin at aware na kayo dito sa mga components na ito. Okay? Then, ito po ang computation natin ng income tax. Meron tayong tinatawag na MCIT. Okay, MCIT. Again, matututunan nyo to sa tax ninyo, the minimum corporate income tax. Okay? MCIT, minimum corporate income tax. Okay. 2019 and below, 2% po ang minimum corporate income tax. Okay? Tapos, nung 2020, naging 1% na. 2020 as of June 30. Okay, June 30. Ayan, binabaan, no? Dahil sa create law na ginawa ng Senate and Congress na, okay, inaprubahan naman ng Presidente. Ayan. Kaya, ito para daw makatulong sa mga korporasyon kasi nga pandemic, babaan natin yung tax rate. So 1%. Eh sir, akala ko ba 30%, naging 25%. Class, ganito ha. Meron kasing company class na kapag minultiply mo yung 30%, no, kunyari 2019 pa lang, doon sa kanyang net income attributable, rather net income before tax. So this is net income before tax. Eh mas maliit kapag kinumputan siya ng minimum corporate tax na 2% of the gross income. Ha? Ganito class ha. Magkaiba sila ng basis. Itong MCIT, 2% of the gross income. Pag sinabi natin gross income, that is sales minus cost of sales lang. Hindi mo dinededuct dito ang general expenses, admin expenses, at saka interest. Pero ang ordinary, okay, itong regular tax or income tax ay based on, okay, earnings before tax. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin yan, na-deduct na dito, okay, sa gross income, yung general admin expense at saka interest. So, technically, mas mababa. Tingnan nyo to class ha. Kung mapapansin nyo, mas mababa ang amount nito compared dito. Okay? Ayan. Mas mababa ang amount nito, okay, basis compared dito. So, yan ang sinasabi ng tax code. Sige, pagbigyan ka namin, 30% ha, ng net income mo. Pero minimum naman ha, utang na loob ha, minimum naman 2% ng gross income. So kapag ang net income mo ay sobrang baba at 30% nun is lower than the minimum, huwag ka namang magbayad ng lower than the minimum. Eh dito class nagkataon kasi na mas mataas po, no, yung regular. Okay, 324 versus 99. Kaya ang babayaran mo, whichever is higher. Okay, so ganyan ha. Regular tax, this is 30%. Okay, 2019. And then, nung 2021 na, 25% na. Okay, 25%. Kaya, itong 25% mo, since 2020 na, sa kalagitnaan yan, times 6/12 and 30% times 6/12, i-add mo yun, 27.5 or mahirapan pa ba natin sarili natin? 25 plus 30 divide by 2, 27.5 ang minultiply for 2020 tax. Kaya 283 ang kanyang tax due. Diba? Pero ang minimum niya, sa 4 million na gross profit niya, 1.5% niyan is 62,000. Eh sir, bakit 1.5? Eh di ganun din, 2 plus 1 divided by 2, 1.5. Okay? Sir, how about pang 2021 na income tax ng corporation? Ilang percent na po ang MCIT? Eh di doon na tayo sa regular. 1% na at saka 25%. Wala na yung 30 plus 25 divided by 2. Ginawa lang natin ito kasi nga transition ito. Okay? Nasusundan. Pre-norate lang natin kasi June 30 ito naging effective. Okay? Pero pagdating ng 2021, 2022 hanggang wala pang amendment ulit, eh 25% na yung gagamitin mo for corporate tax, 1% na yung MCIT. Ayan ha. So take note of this. Okay, so this is year 2021, 22, 23. Okay, so ngayon, ito yung sinasabi ko. Ha? Ito yung tax due mo Okay, burahin ko nga to para hindi nakakalito. No? Ito ang tax due mo for 2020, pero may mga nabayaran ka ng 2307, ibig sabihin meron ka nang nakolekta before. Okay? Kagaya nito, 273 na. No? Ang nakolekta sa'yo, I should say, nabayaran mo sa gobyerno, nabayaran mo, okay, doon sa supplier at binigyan ka ng withholding tax, creditable. So, gagawin mo, gagamitin mong pangontra doon sa dapat mong bayaran na 283 at income tax paid for the first quarter, yung mga previously quarterly na nabayaran mo, and prior year credit kung merong mga hindi sobra overpayment ka. So lahat yan sa annual, pwede mong gamiting pambayad. Eh nagkataon class na sumobra pa yung nabayaran mo dati kaysa doon sa due ngayon. Kaya meron ka ulit excess. And this excess now, gagamitin mo na naman pang 2021 na credit. So, ganun po ang kwento niyan. Okay? So, kagaya nito, 49. Ito siya. Excess siya noong 2019. Eh sir, ibig sabihin wala siyang binayarang tax? Meron. Plus meron. Ang binayaran niya ito, 324. Okay? Yan ang binayaran niyang tax, income tax ha. Okay? Pero may mga paunang payment na kasi siya prior to April 15. So yun lang po. 'Di ba? Kumbaga advance payment. Sumobra pa, so carry over dito. Magkano tax due niya sa 2020? 283 pa rin. Wala siyang binayaran? Wala na ngayon. Pero meron siyang paunang bayad na 49, paunang bayad na 273, at paunang bayad na 72. Kaya sumobra ulit siya, which will be carried over sa 2021. Ganyan, class, ha? Then I will leave it to your taxation professor, okay, sa pag-compute ng tax. Kaya sabi ko, class, kay Sir Talion at saka kay Sir Luis Chua, may professor, Sir, sa quiz 1, pwede po bang theories lang muna? Alam kong may tax po tayong topic, okay, at madali naman po silang kausap mga kapatid. Okay, mababait naman po yung mga kasama nating prof. Okay, sige, sabi nila, theories lang muna. Lalo na si Sir Chua kasi siya yung gagawa. No? Pero pagdating ng quiz to ninyo, class, okay, wala tayong magagawa. Talagang magsusolve na kayo dyan. Okay? Dito, kahit may nakikita kayong mga numbers dito na pre-present ko, okay, rest assured na pang theories lang po ang FS presentation natin. Okay? So, actually, dinidiscuss ko lang ito para magkaroon kayo class ng overview sa mga next subjects ninyo, no? Lalo na yung taxation. So ito, input and output VAT. Ito naman yung mga VAT payments natin. Okay? So papakita mo dyan, magkano summary ng output, magkano summary ng input, okay? Sales to government, those expenses, etc. VAT payable. Okay? So yun yung mga babayaran yung tax. Kaya mag-isip kayo class kung mag-business pa ba kayo o hindi. Kaya meron tayong mga, alam nyo na, bali-balita, sa social media, okay? Na-tax yung mga influencers, etc. Actually, class, nasa tax code naman, clear yun. Okay? Any earnings, okay, received, whether from legal or illegal activities, class, ay subject to tax. Yun. Pero sino naman ang magde-declare ng income niya o earnings niya from illegal activity? O BIR, magbabayad po ako ng annual tax. Itong mga to ay galing po sa aking mga illegal activities. Eh, baka puliin ka, di ba? Walang magde-declare ng illegal activity. Pero kung obvious naman, class, na kumikita ang isang empleyado, tao, businessman, okay, at hindi siya nakaregister sa BIR, wala tayong magagawa. It's the mandate of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, class. So, mandato naman nila na i-secure yung tinatawag na lifeblood ng ating gobyerno. At ang lifeblood ng ating gobyerno ay tax. Okay? Pera ng taong bayan. So kung merong hindi nagbabayad ng tax, okay? Alam niyo na yan sa balita, di ba? Yung influencer, vlogger, okay? Station, okay? Et cetera. Siyempre na nalulugi naman yung gobyerno. So, take note na you are given privilege to conduct business. Kaya nag-secure ka ng business permit, BIR registration, privilege yan. Okay, hinahayaan ka ng gobyerno. Even yung mga foreigners, pwedeng mag-business dito, di ba? Okay, basta i-maintain lang nila yung ownership percentage na enshrined in our constitution. So, privilege yun. So, pwedeng ma-remove. Okay? So, Anyway, you will learn this in your taxation. Ngayon, punta tayo sa cash flow. Okay, cash flow. Okay, cash flow. Ito yung class ha. Nakita nyo na yung notes ng comprehensive income. Nakita nyo na rin class yung notes sa balance sheet. Okay? And then you have your cash flow statement. Class, can you still recall the different decision-making activities that the financial manager has to perform? Okay, and we have here again the acronym CFO, diba? CFO. Okay, so you have here C, capital budgeting. Okay, F, financing. Okay, ito po yun. Financing. And then O, operating. Diba? CFO. Or investing, ang tawag din sa capital budgeting activity. And then financing. Okay, again. And you have your operating activity. So, sa cash flow statement, okay, magsisimula ka sa net surplus or net income. Sir, ano po itong 747, 741 na yan? Dito po siya galing class, no? Akyat tayo. Titingin ka kay income statement. Yan, ito siya. Ito, sakto. Hindi siya naisip. Hindi na ipasok sa cycle. Ito, 747. So, dito ka magsisimula. Dito ka magsisimula. Ngayon, aalamin mo kung magkano yung cash inflow from operating, cash inflow or outflow from investing, cash inflow or outflow from financing. Siyempre, meron kasing mga expenses dito, class, na hindi naman nangailangan ng outflow ng cash pero na-deduct sila. Kagaya ng depreciation expense. Wala kang credit na cash kapag may depreciation expense ka. Pinakita ko na kaninang entry class sa depreciation, debit DebtX, di ba? DebtX, depreciation expense. So nag-deduct ka. Okay? And credit accumulated depreciation. Okay? So walang credit cash dyan. Same with amortization. Credit amortization expense, Amex. Okay? And then credit accumulated amortization. So wala kang credit na cash dyan. Okay? Pero sir, ginamit natin yan pang operations, yung computer, diba? Yung mga equipment, etc. That is why, okay, part siya ng operating activity. Kaya ang first step mo is to add back, i-work back mo, i-add mo yung mga depreciation at amortization expense na yan. Kaya kung babalik tayo dito, sa baba, cash flow statement, yan. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo, class, ang depreciation at amortization, dinadagdag mo yan. Okay? Bakit ko dinagdag? Kasi nag-deduct ka doon sa pag-compute ng net income. Okay? Pero wala ka namang cash. Cash flow kasi ito na dineduct or credit. Kaya i-add back mo, ibalik mo. To get the operating income before change in working capital. Yan. You will learn this in your financial accounting class. Tapos, okay, meron ka ng increase or decrease. Increase or decrease. Increase or decrease. Kasi bakit open close ito? Bakit decrease naman yung open close dito? Kapag current assets, so ito current asset, ito trade receivable, okay? And then other current assets such as prepaid expense, o class hindi dahil expense yung term doon, expense na siya. Prepaid expense already paid but not yet incurred. So kumbaga advance payment yun, like insurance, di ba? Ito naman payable, trade and other payable. So current na naman to, current liability. Kaya class, ang working capital na pag-aaralan din natin after asset analysis ay pang current portion. Current asset and current liability. So kapag nag-increase ang current asset, example, receivable nadagdagan from 10,000 naging 15,000. Okay? Ano ang magiging effect niya kapag nag-increase? Minus. Sir, bakit minus? Kasi ang entry mo, debit AR credit sales. Diba? So, nadagdagan yung sales mo, pero wala namang pumasok na pera. Kaya yung increase na yun, bawasan mo. Susundan? Ganun, So, dito, decrease ang class. Kasi kapag nabawasan naman, ang entry mo class kapag nababawasan ang receivable. Ito Kapag nadadagdagan, debit AR. So plus pag financial accounting na to ha. Okay, i-explain ko lang para mas madali yung tandaan. Pero kapag ito increase, kaya minus yan. Pero kapag decrease, okay, ang effect niyan, debit cash. Okay? Ang dati kong prof, ang tawag ng kaso ng cash. Debit cash. Kung nyo kung sino yun, malalaman nyo kung sino siya. Professor din siya ng UST, AMV. Debit cash, credit AR. So dahil kapag nag-decrease pala, okay, nakakapag-collect ka ng cash. Yan. Yun yung simpleng explanation. Kaya pag decrease plus, pag increase, hindi ka nakakapag-collect. Okay, binabalik mo. Yan. Pag payable, baliktad naman. Kapag nag-i-increase, okay, plus. Kapag nagdi-decrease naman, okay, minus. Bakit ganun? Teka lang. Kapag nagdi-decrease, isipin nyo, debit accounts payable, para mabawasan siya, i-debit mo kasi normal balance is credit and then credit cash. Okay, cash. Yan. So kung credit mo yan, nabawasan. Kaya pag decrease, minus. Okay? So ganyan na mga kapatid. Alam nyo na yan. But again, I will leave it to your financial accounting professor sa pag-compute ninyo ng cash balance or cash flow from operating, cash flow from investing, and cash flow from tawag dito, financing. Okay? So, again, sa quiz ninyo, wala namang problem solving doon. Theoretical lang. At least alam niyo kung bakit plus or minus ang effect kapag increase in current asset or decrease in current liab. Okay? Now, for cash flow from investing activity, ito naman, investing. Ano to? PPE. Sir, nakita ko ang PPE saan? Ito po ay non-current asset. Di ba? Sa balance sheet. Yan yung sabi natin. Okay? Receipt or payment for. Okay? Property and equipment. So minus ito kasi bumili ka pa. Okay? Minus ito kasi bumili ka pa. Nasusundan? Pero pag binenta mo yung PPE dati mong binili, kasi nga hindi mo na siya gagamitin, at hindi mo siya inventory class, hindi mo siya inventory. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya recurring na gano'n ang ginagawa mo. Example, lupa. May lupa kang ininvestan. Okay? Binili mo, debit land, credit, cash. Okay? Amounting to 1 million. Hindi naman buy and sell ng lupa ang business mo. Ang plano mo doon, magtatayo ka ng factory. Okay? Hindi natuloy. Okay? Ibang location na pala ang location ng factory na itatayuan mo or branch. So, ano gagawin mo doon? Pwedeng as is lang siya, as part of your investment, pero kung ibebenta mo na siya, credit land, debit cash. So, may inflow ka naman from investing activity. Okay? So, ayan, receipts or payment. But for financing activity class, financing, okay? Hindi naman na nakafocus yan sa non-current asset. Okay? Yan na ay galing sa equity. Okay, kung ikaw ay mag-i-issue ng stocks, okay, ng kumpanya, bebenta mo sa stockholders, or pwede rin naman na debt. Okay? Mag-issue ka ng bonds. O kaya naman, ikaw ay umutang sa bangko, loans. Sir, bakit ganon? Ano bang entry class ulit? Kapag nag-issue ka ng stocks, debit cash, credit common stock. So, pasok sa financing. Pag nag-issue ka ng bonds, debit cash, credit bonds payable, credit premium on bonds payable. Pasok doon sa financing. Pag umutang ka sa bangko, debit cash, credit loans payable. Pag nagbayad ka, di ibang usapan na yan. Pag nag-declare ka ng dividend, debit dividends payable, credit cash. Debit RE, credit dividends payable. So may credit cash. So outflow naman kapag dividend. What else? Nagbayad ka ng loan. Debit interest expense, credit cash. Debit loans payable, credit cash. Outflow naman siya, paid for. Okay, dito naman siya sa paid for. Okay, so ganun lang po. Kapag bonds naman, nagbayad ka ng interest, debit interest expense, credit cash. Nagbayad ka ng bonds payable kasi nag-mature na siya, debit bonds payable, credit cash. So paid for naman siya. Di ba? Paid for financing. Ito naman paid for investing activities. Okay? Then all you have to do, class, after determining the different cash generated from operating, generated from investing, generated from financing, makukompute mo na yung net cash increase or decrease. So for 2020, okay, nagkaroon ka ng increase na net of 1,244,084 as opposed sa 2019 na meron kang 20,061,943 net increase. Eh bakit ganun? Eh kasi meron ka nitong loans. Yan, malaki yung loans eh. Tapos nag-loan ka pala para patayo ng building. So meron kang investments. Okay? Ngayon, yung 44 million na nakita nyo sa balance sheet, dapat mag-reflect din siya sa cash flow statement. Kaya cash generated from operating, investing, and financing, at yan yung net cash balance natin, okay? Idadagdag mo siya sa cash beginning balance. Okay, so ito yon. Okay? Which is the ending balance last year na 43, yung 2019. So magkakaroon ka na ng 44,729,354, which again is to be presented in your balance sheet or statement in financial position. So itong 44,729, tandaan niyang amount na yan, 44,729 cash flow, dapat i-present mo rin siya at dapat equal siya dito sa balance sheet 44,729. Ito rin po siya. Okay? So ganyan po. Kung gusto mong malaman ang kwento or breakdown ng 44,729, saan siya galing? Cash flow statement. Okay? Operating, investing, financing. Kung gusto mo pang malaman kung anong breakdown niya, okay, maliban sa kung saan siya galing, kung ano yung mga accounts na affected, then punta ka dito sa notes to financial statement. Ito po yun. Cash in bank, petty cash, and check deposits. So ganyan po mga kapatid. Ha? After po nung cash flow statement, okay, titignan mo yung statement of changes in equity security. Ito yun. Changes in equity security. Noong 2019, 25 billion, walang APIC. So they were issued, the stocks were issued at par value. Okay? And yung retained earnings niya, 2,630,280. Ito yung income niya. No? Income niya noong 2019. Okay? Wala pong dineclare na dividend, so wala kang i-deduct na dividend. Okay? Kasi ang entry mo class, pag nag-declare ka ng dividend, debit RE. Okay? And then credit dividends payable. DIV-P. Okay? Pero kapag may income ka, ang entry mo naman dito, nasabi na natin kanina, debit income summary account, yung clinose mo yung mga nominal account, and debit RE, retained earnings. So, ganyan. Okay? So, and the total shareholders' equity now, balance, will be 29,135 from 28,387,000 plus. Okay? So, this shareholders' equity should be presented in the balance sheet account again. Okay? So, permanent account. Yan. Real accounts. Okay? So, itong 29, tignan natin kung nasa balance sheet yung 29,135 na total shareholders' equity, which is composed of 25 million common stock and RE of 4,135. Ito po yung ating balance sheet. Yan, sakto. 29,135,573, which is composed of 25 million share capital and 4 million retained earnings. So, ayan class, no? Naipakita natin ang mga components ng financial statement, okay? Such as balance sheet, okay? Income statement, cash flow statement, statement in changes in equity security, and your notes to financial statement. Okay? Then of course, we have here the management responsibilities. Okay? And then additional documents to be submitted, okay, aside from this, is the so-called audit report from an external auditor, okay, appointed or elected, okay, by the board, approved. Sino man yung pwede. Okay? So these are the different components of financial statement, okay, cash flow statement, and we have already discussed the concept of taxation, tax with respect to corporate setup. Okay, so we'll continue our discussion class with respect to financial market and environment.